Okay, so let's begin. Hi everyone, this is Nico and Selvi from 5 to 5. In today's video, we will have a deep dive discussion about the skin barrier. As you can see today, we are not alone. We are joined by Dr. Anna Chacon. She is a board-certified dermatologist from Miami, Florida, and she will be sharing her expertise on the topic with us today. Let's start with what is the skin barrier? Is there a clinical term for it, or is it mostly just a marketing jargon?
I think it's both. So when I think of the skin barrier, I think of basically it's the outer layer of our skin that protects it from external insults. Barrier function is very important for multiple reasons. So the skin is the largest organ in our body. It helps with thermoregulation, which is the regulation of temperature in our body. It's basically a shield that we have that doesn't let any sort of external trauma go into the bloodstream, the nervous system, and other organ systems. It's very important to keep it intact and keep it healthy because you become symptomatic when it's not. So you'll start to feel itchy, red, your skin might start swelling. The impaired skin barrier can be something that you're born with. It can also be acquired, or it can be something that develops over time. We notice as dermatologists that patients who have skin disorders, let's say psoriasis or atopic dermatitis, tend to really have an impaired skin barrier. People with relatively healthy, intact skin also have a pretty healthy skin barrier. Yes, we can achieve this by really keeping our skin moisturized, preventing it from getting dry, and trying to take care of our skin first and foremost every time we see something that's wrong with it, and not letting it get, very itchy or very dry. So you definitely want to use moisturizers and emollients for sure. You want to use them at certain critical times. I always tell patients after showering and before bedtime are good times to use moisturizers, because that way your skin will absorb them right away. Typically when the skin is damp, it's the best time to absorb a moisturizer. Before bedtime, because that's when the skin, the hair regenerates, and the nails. It regenerates when we're sleeping. And if you think about it, whenever you have a paper cut or a wound, it'll start to heal overnight. So a good rest and kind of trying to take care of your skin before going to sleep is very critical. Yes. So ceramides are present in our skin. They're an important component of the matrix of the stratum corneum, but they're also part of a lot of synthetic moisturizers and creams. These are known as barrier creams, and they basically contain additional ingredients that promote the healing of our skin barrier, such as vitamin B3, which is niacinamide or niacin, and ceramides. And these creams that contain synthetic ceramides are thought to be very useful in the management of eczema and atopic dermatitis, as well as other conditions. Vitamin B3 or nicotinamide reduces the water loss transepidermally, and it keeps the skin hydrated. It works hand in hand with ceramides. It promotes repair of the skin barrier by stimulating the production of fat or lipids in the skin. So ceramides are one of the key critical ingredients for a barrier cream and barrier cream function. A lot of these ingredients work together. A lot of the times you can see in the humectants or moisturizers, you can see different things like glycerin, sorbitol, urea, even seaweed extract, hyaluronic acid. Other things that can be included in moisturizers or skincare are things like petroleum jelly, silicone, zinc oxide. Those are helpful ingredients that promote occlusion and prevent the escape of water from the skin. The ceramides, they can work very well with other ingredients. Most of the time when I see ceramides, it's not by itself, it's actually accompanied by another ingredient.
Can I conclude that we should take into account the whole blend of ingredient in the product rather than a certain ingredient itself?
Yes. Sure. So first of all, it's I always tell patients you have to pay attention to how something feels on your skin. If it starts to burn, you don't want to use it, and I certainly am guilty of trying or continuing to try some products that don't feel that well. You want to look good, but you also want to feel good after you try a product. Another thing that's very helpful are comments from other people. So, for example, I use a night cream. I use a retinoid at night, and my nurses notice when I use it and when I don't. And they said, okay, well, your skin is looking better when I use the retinoid, and they won't tell me anything when I don't. So then I know and I feel confident, okay, well, this is really working for me because other people notice. Also, you want a good other way to compare if something works or not is actually pictures. Pictures do not lie. And if you take a picture before starting a treatment and then after starting a treatment, that's probably the best evidence you have. Sometimes when we look at each other every day, we may not see the subtle differences from a cream. It might just be too hard to distinguish what it has done for us. But with the pictures, it becomes obvious over time. And I wouldn't take a picture every day. I'd probably take it once a month. But I think it's still sufficient enough to include as part of the evaluation process.